Roland.
Hello everyone, my name is Michael McLaughlin and I'm here to talk to you about my film Disturbance. I'm going to talk a little bit about what the film's about, the visual style of the film, and then I'll talk about logistics and budget and where I plan to go with the film then. So next slide please. So just a short summary of the film. It's a thriller about a young man whose quiet evening is disturbed by the frantic banging at the door from his petty criminal friend Danny. Danny explains that he was on a job with an infamous local criminal gang and that the job went horribly wrong and he is now on the run. He fears the gang are not far behind him. So while they argue about what they should do, David wants to call the police. Danny doesn't want him to call the police because he'd be in trouble. They start hearing strange noises outside the house, a gate opening, the crunching of the gravel driveway, so obviously the gang is outside and they're circling the house. At one point there's a strange noise upstairs, so David goes up to security upstairs, and when he comes back down he finds Danny on the floor on his knees with three masked men surrounding him with a gun to his head. Danny then urges David to run, and as David runs, Danny rises and commands the men to start emptying the house. So it was all a ploy to get David out of the house so that Danny could rob it with his gang. Next slide please. So in terms of visual style and examples, it's a dark atmospheric horror. It's a home invasion kind of film. It'll be shot at night. The lighting will be very low but warm and carefully placed. So along the lines of The Strangers, the horror film was made in 2008, or Silent House, which was made in 2011. So for logistics and budget, it's going to be, I'm saying it's going to be 3 evenings. I'm saying 4 just for an extra day for contingency. The location is a single location, which is a family home, which is very useful because it's free of charge. Next slide please. So the cast are 3 male actors, which come in at $450 a day for 3 days, and 2 male extras, which come in at €80 a day for 3 days. So the total of that will be 1,590. So in terms of crew, I'll be looking for 2 camera operators at 1,550 per week, 1 lighting operator 1,000 per week, a boom operator at 1,200 per week, 1 production assistant at 650 per week, and an assistant director at 1,400 per week. So in terms of crew, the total cost comes to €5,800. So in terms of location and travel arrangements, the cast are local actors. I have 2 actors I've been talking to and I do like them a lot for the role. They live in Arklow and Enniscorthy. So in terms of them, they'll just need travelling expenses, which would be €20 per day. So for all the actors, that'll be €100 per day in total. In terms of crew, travelling expenses, whether they decide to come down on the train or drive down themselves, it would be about €20 a day each. So for the entire crew, travel budget would be €765. So for the total travel and accommodation, the Amber Springs Hotel also is where I'll be putting people up. That comes to €765. So the total travel and accommodation costs are €985. In terms of equipment costs, I'm going to need 2 Canon Mark II cameras. They're €130 per day for 3 days, which is a total of €390. I also want to get a zoom lens, a 24 to 105mm zoom lens, which is €48 per day, which will bring me to a total of 144. A H4n portable recorder, which is €30 per day for 3 days, which is a total of €90. I want to get a Ricotti microphone, which is €22 per day. So for 3 days, a total of €66. A 7-inch field monitor, which comes to a total of €108. Also, I plan to use a lot of practical lighting, so I've done some tests with the lights that are in the house presently, and they're fine, except they all need a bigger wattage of bulb. So I've gone around and priced a few of them. 105 watt, they might not all be 105, I might bring it down to 80, but they're 482 each, so for the 12 bulbs it would be 57.84. Also, I found these 2 dimmer control lamps, which will work really well, particularly in the living room, which I want to get for the film, which are €80 each, so that's a total of 160. I also want to get rent 2 Vintage Vision tripods, which are €40 per day, which is a total of €120. A monopod, which is €36 per day, and so that brings our total equipment cost to €1,243. I got these from the camera kit and for filmequipmenthire.com, where there is a 20% discount for students. Also for props, I have a few props like a replica gun, balaclavas. I've gone around and priced a few of them, so that comes to about €200. Catering will be handled by Crafty Catering, which charge €350 per day, so for 3 days that's a total of €1,050. So the budget in total, the cast total, the crew total, the travel and accommodation, equipment total, catering total, props total, so the total film budget including a 10% contingency is €11,955. Next slide please. So now that the budget's in place, I kind of had to decide what's going to be done with the film once it's being made. Obviously looking to recoup as much of the expenses as I could. I had a look at some of the film festivals. There's the likes of the Cork Indie Film Festival, and I found this one, the Corona Fastnet Short Film Festival, which if you win it has a possible prize of €8,000, which goes a long way to recouping the costs. And also while at these festivals, you have to do a lot of networking. With any luck, meet a few distributors. There's also a gyroscope, which means you pay them the prescription fee, and you can then rent out your film to watch online. I also included Vimeo Pro and YouTube AdSense. Now AdSense, that will provide you with a very little money per view, but again, it's all about marketing. If you get the film out there, if you spread the word that it's there, if you create a buzz, then it will start to show your dividends there. So, next slide, I think that's all. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.